Powerless is the name that I named it, is inspired by a person that popped up in my chat. Now, I have a phenomenal memory. And so sometimes people pop up and they think that I don't remember who they were because of how many live streams that I do and how busy I am and all of the business that I got going on and all of this other type of stuff. But I remember, I can think about all of the different things that resonated in my mind. And when I'm having conversation with people, often at times what happens is there's something that you do or say that sear into my mind. And so when I seen a guy pop up yesterday and his name just so happened to be Paul Unslaved, we're going to get into him in a minute. It was a light bulb moment because it's an opportunity for me to teach you guys the truth. This is the truth today. This is just as much as a money opportunity because everything comes back to the money as it is a truth opportunity, right? And the truth is this: there is no weaker person on the face of this earth, especially as it relates to the United States of America. And I'm going to explain to you why. There is no weaker being on the face of this earth, unprotected, unsupported, unloved, easily cancelable. In no way, shape, or form should any person, including other people of this exact same demographic, should be fearful of a white man. You have been lied to, ladies and gentlemen, by people specifically that look like you. You have not been lied to the system or lied by the system. You haven't been lied to by white people or white men or white women or anything like that. You've been lied to by other people that look like you that then give you this false narrative in order to keep you in fear because they've been taught wrong also. But we're going to unlock it today. We're going to have a real show and there is no show that is better on YouTube, especially as it relates to morning shows, coming back to the money and coming back to the truth, than this show, the Millionaire Morning Show right here. If you're not subscribed, if you don't have your notifications on, it's going to get ugly. All right. There is no more of a powerless person than a white man. Hear me out. I need you to truly understand this. You know why black women say that they're going to get them a white man? Is because they disillusioned. They disillusioned. Not the black women, the white man. Now we're not talking about white men of yesteryear. We're not talking about white men of 200 years ago, 300 years ago, 400 years ago, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. Those dudes I have respect for. Not admiration, not love. I have respect for because you can even respect your enemies. You can respect your enemies. You can respect the people that you love. You can respect your enemies. You can respect people that are oppositions. You can respect people. You can respect people from all walks of life. But the one thing that you can't say is that they didn't stand on their square for whatever it was that they believed in. If they wanted to go over and take over your fucking land, that's what they was going to do. They knew that they were inferior with regard to how strong they were. Right? They can't jump higher than you. They can't run faster than you. Did you know that hockey was actually invented by black people? I bet you didn't know that. You thought that they had one sport over you. They don't. Hockey was not invented by white people. It was invented by black people. That is a fact. And so what happens is you use your physical throughout history. What we've depended on is our physical attributes instead of using the most important muscle that we have in our body is here. This is the most important muscle that you have in your body. And the minute that the world woke up, because black people is still asleep, but the minute that the world woke up and they realized that, oh, wait a minute, not only am I physically stronger than you, but I can overpower you as long as I can outthink you, then it put white men specifically at a disadvantage. Let me kick it with you for a second, and then we're going to get into the show. All right. White men have no support. They're losing their hold on everything. Did you know that the overwhelming majority of the people, that are on social services are white? The overwhelming majority of the people that we then use our tax dollars in order to support are white. Have y'all ever been through a poor white community? Have you ever drove through a trailer park? All you got to do is walk downtown in any of these local urban communities, and I guarantee you will see more white people broken on social services. If you go to the welfare office, overwhelmingly, it's white people. This is a fact. This is not my opinion. This is not my thoughts. This is a fact. When you see these conversations happening online, as far as feminism and men going their own way and all of this other type of stuff, that started with white men. That wasn't a black man thing. When you see feminism and the rise to prominence of feminism at all, that wasn't a black woman thing. That's a white woman thing that got fed up with dealing with a certain type of man that didn't no longer have any. A white woman or white women realized that the white man no longer had any real power over them, and so they started the feminism movement, and then they got smarter than them and recruited black women in order to come over there and support them as a result of it. That's not even your thing. That's not even your movement. That's not even anything that you were supposed to be involved with in the first place. And then what did black people do? They followed white women and white men into the same mire because you continue to herald them and you continue to pedestalize them. You still think that it's the white power structure when every other community have stepped outside of your thought process and have a higher household income on average than the people that you think the system is really made for. Why are so many of them on welfare? Why are they the ones that actually started the men go your own way? Why are they not at the top if the system is built for them? Why are they overwhelmingly the ones that started van life? Van life, we reviewed this the other week. Van life ain't a black people thing. This is black people following white people to go and live in their vans because now y'all want to be homeless just like them. You following them because you think that they better than you, when in reality, they chasing you in order to become you because they realize that inherently you are a king. You just didn't realize that you had your crown on because you never looked in the mirror. You too busy looking outside the window to try to understand what somebody else is doing or look at them and point the finger instead of looking in the mirror and realizing that you had a crown on your head. So you continuing to follow them to the bottom of the pit, and you don't even understand the cultural differences, right? I'll give you an example. I'll give you a perfect example. You ready? All right, let's go. You hold black people accountable, right? Right? And you say that we need to stay on code with other black people. Don't you know that white people realize that other white people ain't as good as them and they separate themselves? Amongst them, it's not even about whether or not you white or not. It's about whether or not you a good white person and you actually have class and you have enough money to even be able to get in their neighborhood. They don't want listen, white people that have morals, principles, and money don't want to deal with other white people that they consider trash. That's a fact. They separate themselves. Did you know that Trump's prominence and rise to power didn't come on the heels of anything other than other white people that felt disenfranchised? Think about this. If the white power structure is so prominent and if it's so great, then why do we have white people feeling disenfranchised to the point to where they have to galvanize behind a candidate that they didn't even like And Trump was actually more aligned with the black culture and the hip hop community more than he was with the white power structure. So if that be true, right? Because you don't realize that throughout his life, if you look at his campaign documents, Trump donated to both the Democrat and the Republican side because he was looking at it from a class perspective, not based off of what you think that it is. And then he resonated with a group of people. And the overwhelming majority of them people that was storming the Capitol was poor white people. It wasn't prominent people. Listen. We're going to get into it. I'm going to read super chats throughout the show. What I need y'all to understand today is that you are not inferior. You are in no way, shape, or form behind the 8 ball. They are not better than you. It is not a person on the face of this earth that you can sit here and say is actually in a better position than you. You just have not realized it. So you keep thinking that somebody is holding you down. And the reality is that it's you versus you. I posted this on Twitter the other day. If you're not following me on Instagram and Twitter, make sure you do so. The links is in the description. It's you versus you. You the only person that can stop you. Remove the cover from your eyes. Remove the thing that's over your eyes that you think is preventing you from being successful and lean more into what God has for you. Nobody can stop you but you. I don't have any fear. I don't fear anybody. I don't fear a white man. I don't fear a white woman. I definitely don't fear black women. I don't fear other black men. I don't fear anything. The only thing I do is continue to do what I do, and I'm going to live in my purpose, and I'm going to lean heavily into it. Heavily into it. Y'all was so upset about Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes don't even have a platform to speak on. Nick Fuentes is nothing. Nick Fuentes was latching on to Kanye trying to get some traction. Broke, dusted, disgusted, has nothing, no following, no power, no real money, no real opportunity for change. Why you think he protesting so much? Protests are for poor people. Poor people are the ones that ask for reparations. Poor people are the ones that ask for somebody to help them and give them some more and invest in their community and acknowledge their pain. Nick Fuentes don't have no power. You so riled up about something that don't even affect you. They have no power whatsoever. They got to ask you to get on your platform because the system banned them. Now, if the system was so prominently against us, then how is it that they're the ones that's banned and removed from it? Black women got more power than white men in this country in 2023. Now, ain't that some shit? Black women got more power than white men in this country in 2023. Ain't that some shit? You got all of the things. The diversity inclusion committee is going to make sure that they get you a job. They're going to make sure that you don't fall on your feet or that you don't fall on your face. If you go out there in California right now, when you go over into these homeless camps and you see the people that's living in the woods in Florida because they don't have no ability to be able to escape the actual the state because they on the sex offenders list, but then they have to still be able to live. They all in these little hidden little crevices inside of the Florida woods trying to fight off the alligators because they don't have nowhere to go. If the structure is set up for them to win, then why they so behind the 8 ball? Why they begging you? You just ain't realized your power yet. You didn't realize how great you was. And so you still thinking that you're behind the 8 ball. In reality, it's yours to take. I'm going to get into the show, but let me just leave you with this point. Think about it. Of all the things that was done to your ancestors and the ways that they literally tried to kill you off, you still here. You still here. Your existence on this earth was predestined before the formation of the earth. It was nothing and no one that can stop you. It was nothing and nobody that could stop you. If they couldn't stop you then, What makes you think that they can stop you now? They couldn't stop you then. They damn sure can't stop you now. You got the wind behind your back. It's nothing that anybody can do to stop you from being successful. There is nobody, in my opinion, that is more hated on the internet than me right now. And you know what I do? You know what I showed them on it? You know what I showed them inside of the Patreon? How big my bags are that I'm busting down. You know the type of life that I live? A phenomenal one. If I can have more hate videos made by me, if my wife can go out there and it's an older, ugly black woman that's feeling a certain type of way, apologizing to a rich woman because she don't like what it is that her husband said, and I can sit here and continue to live phenomenally, flying first class Delta One, riding in the best cars, living in my purpose, and about to go and get a massage this afternoon. What the fuck is your excuse? Why are you sitting here wasting time feeling a certain type of way? Ain't nobody even checking for you. Ain't nobody even after you. Ain't nobody researching you. Ain't nobody checking, trying to figure out where you live and none of that shit. So if I'm able to live in my purpose, what excuse do you have? It certainly ain't the white man. Oh, we gonna get into it. We gonna get into it.